What worries you on the markets right now? We're seeing quite a lot of volatility, uncertainty.
The Central Reserve, the central bank in America, they have no clue what they're doing. They're going to ruin us all.
Why?
Why? They've driven interest rates to levels which have never been seen in history. The rest of the world followed. Debt is skyrocketing, going through the roof. This is all going to end very, very, very badly, Francine. You should be worried. You don't have to worry. Wait. You don't have to worry. You have job security because somebody's going to have to report all this disaster.
Right. Let's not talk about my job security, but just in general, central banks, right, will push back and say, well, we don't know what would have happened had we not done what we have done. And hindsight is a great thing.
I know what would have happened. We would have had some more bankruptcies. We would have had a horrible year or so, and then everything would be fine now. We're all sitting here wondering how this is going to end. I know how it's going to end badly. But if we had had the pain, the pain, Francine, you know, in Scandinavia in the early 90s, they had this problem. Several people went bankrupt. They started over again. And Scandinavia's been fabulous after 3 years of horrible pain. This is the way the world works. Propping up dead companies, propping up zombie banks is not the way the world is supposed to work.
Right, but you also want to make sure that the economy gets on a firmer footing. Jane, you agree? I mean, first of all, Jane, what's your take? I mean, have central banks put us all in despair, or have they actually done their job and stuck to their mandate?
I think what they've done, they've allowed the economies to sustain a lot of employment and at the cost of low productivity.
Right.
So if they were allow us to be open to these risks, yes, we would have shocks that would force us into to make us more productive, more competitive. But the shock would be a lot of people out of work in the short term. The only problem is that the short term could drag on for 10 years. And again, if we looked maybe when Thatcher came into power, she did this, she got rid of a lot of coal mining jobs, unemployment queues went up, the country became much more competitive. The only problem is, in hindsight, we can see that it took about 10 years for those unemployment levels to go down. So it's a choice.
It's been 9 years. This is 2017. It's been 9 years. No, we don't have much to show for it except staggering amounts of debt worldwide.
Well,
and many pension plans are going broke.
But Jim,
insurance companies are going broke.
Isn't there growth around the world? It's not great growth, but it's 1.5.
I'm suggesting to you, let me say again, Francine, if we'd taken the pain in 2009 or 10, by now things would be great. As in, let me tell you about America. America in the early 20s did the same thing. They raised interest rates. They balanced the budget. They had a terrible 2 years. But then the 1920s were America's best ever economic decade. You take the pain, you clean out the mistakes, and you start over, and then things boom.
Jim, I'm glad we have an hour with you because we have a lot to get through, but what would have it looked like? Had you taken the pain in 2009, how much
people would have gone bankrupt. It wouldn't have been just Lehman Brothers and Bear Stearns. It would have been other people. I don't know, maybe me. I don't know who they would have been going bankrupt, but there would have been pain.
Very ugly.
But what do we have now? You think this is great? We have strange elections because nobody's happy. Everybody in the world, whether it's Europe, Asia, America, we know something's wrong, and we're trying to figure out what to do. Now, maybe the solution is Donald Trump. Some people think that's not a solution, though. That's a problem. But this is why many people in the world know something's wrong, and they don't know what to do, so they take it out on politicians.